Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Wednesday. Today I have a tag video for you. I was tagged by the absolutely gorgeous Sophie Showhead to do the luxury roast tag where we get to choose our top 10 ugliest / overrated handbags or designer handbags. I absolutely love this tag. I think it's brilliant and I had so much fun watching her video. If you guys haven't watched it, I will put a link to it on the description box below. She is absolutely hilarious and she's right on the money with a lot of the choices that she had. But I feel that this is going to be a fun video because we always talk about bags that we love. We always talk about bags that make our hearts sing, but we don't always talk about the other side of bags. Maybe the not so pretty side of handbags, you know what I mean? And with any handbag video, it's all a matter of personal preference. It doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what Sally Sue says or Billy Bob or whoever. If a bag speaks to you, if you love the bag, that's all that matters. You're gonna be the one rocking it, you know what I mean? So it's all in good fun and I really hope no one takes offense to it. I'm definitely not a roast master by any means whatsoever. I don't even know if the video is going to be any good, but when I was first tagged, I already had an idea as to some of the bags that I wanted to choose, and the other ones, I just had a blast. I absolutely had a blast finding these bags, and then just seeing the price tags that some of these had, I was just thinking, there is no freaking way, you know what I mean? So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do this as a countdown, with number 10 being my and my number 1 being absolutely not hands down the worst one in my opinion. Of course, like I said, this is my own opinion. I'm going to incorporate pictures of each one, so I think that I'll just have little snippets of each one and I'll talk about them briefly because I don't want this video to be too long. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? There is a fashion house that definitely had the most to choose from that I ended up finding, and that was Fendi. So you are going to be seeing quite a bit of Fendi throughout the video. First up, Seline. Number 10, the Seline Cartable Pillow Bag. There are different sizes, but you know, I don't want to like butcher it. I don't want to be mean either, you know, but it's just, I feel like this is one of those bags that when you're just exhausted from shopping, when you're exhausted from doing whatever you got to do, you could just take a nap on your bag. You know what I mean? Like just sprawl out on a bench or something and then just go to sleep. It looks extremely comfortable in that aspect of it. But for me to actually use it like a bag, I don't I don't see that. And there's different colors to choose from. So you have an array of colors to pick from, but I don't think that the stone color that was that we previously saw or the black one make it any better. And I feel that the handle is a little awkward as well. But here is the full frontal of it, and it just, I don't know, like a pillow, like a cushion. I just think that this bag, I think that they really missed the mark with it for sure. It's just not for me, you know, but to each their own, you know, who am I to say anything? But are you ready for the price? Check that out. And so, like I said, it's the Seline Cartable Pillow Bag, $3,900 for the large size, $3,100. And I feel that because there's really no structure to it, I feel that it will get a lot slouchier and it's just expensive to be expensive. That's it. So the structure loss, the overall look that it has, I feel that it definitely doesn't warrant the price tag that it has. I think, as Sophie said in her video, it's expensive just to be expensive because it has the Seline, because it has a Seline name. But I think if anything, this bag is overpriced by about $3,000 in my opinion. You know, the leather might be fantastic, but the overall appeal of it, definitely not for me. The first attack of Fendi, and here it is. Number 9, the Fendi Peekaboo Floral Velvet Satchel Bag. That's a mouthful. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Fendi had quite a bit to choose from. I'm a big fan of Fendi. I love the fashion house, but I think I prefer 90s Fendi. Sex in the City Fendi. It's not that I don't appreciate what they bring to the table, but I feel that with this one, let's just take a moment to check out those details. Oh yes, velvet. I know velvet is extremely popular this season, but this has velvet every single which way, no matter how you look at it. And I don't feel that the colors really complement each other, but you know, that's just me and my 2 cents. But let's just take a look at the price tag because that's what really blew my mind. I feel that I know that velvet is expensive, but not to this
not to this point where I feel that it's the same price, close to an Hermes Birkin. That's the price tag, $9,900.
So am I crazy in thinking that $9,900 for a velvet bag is worth it? I don't see that. I don't see it. I really don't see it. You know what I mean? And the price is just insane. It's absolutely insane. Tack on a couple hundred and you have an Hermes Birkin, like I mentioned in the video. So I think this is definitely one that had to be, had to be discussed. Now this next fashion house I am a big fan of, but more so with their way more toned down type of bag, and I really like the colors that they usually end up choosing, but this one with all the bells and whistles, with all the embellishments, just definitely no.
The Loewe Puzzle XL studded shoulder bag in beige. Now I'm a big fan of Loewe. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I always feel like I'm butchering the name, but anyways, I really do like the puzzle bag, especially when our very good friend Mel Soldera shared it on her videos. I think it's gorgeous. I love the colors that they have, but I feel this one in particular is just, there's way too much. It kind of reminds me of like mountainside alpacas. I don't know. I feel like this belongs in an UGG store and not with the price tag that it has. You know what I mean? And then they added, so not only does it have the fur and all the other details, but they also added the studs, which I feel make it even busier. So it's almost like it has part of a sweater on there, part of some Uggs, but maybe that's just me. Maybe there's something that I'm not seeing. I have no idea. But it just, I don't know. And I really do like the layout that it has originally, but just not with all the bells and whistles that they added to this bag.
And that bag retails for $4,390 here in the States. And like I said before, I really do like the Loewe, the regular bag, but just with all the extras. And I know that fur is always going to make a bag a little bit more expensive, but I felt that this was just way too much with all the extra embellishments that it has, sweater parts and fur parts, and it's no, not for me. Now again, with our featured fashion house, I know that a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, and that's fine. But it was never. It's just, I'll let you see, and you tell me what you think.
Fendi strikes again. This is the Baguette Monster Mixed Fur Shoulder Bag in Orange Multi. I never really got into the Monster collection. I know a lot of people are a big fan of the bag charms. And the bag charms are, they're a great way to add that personality. But when it comes to a full-on bag, I think that it's way too much. I'm sure by now a lot of you know that I tend to go for very, very simple bags. But then you have this, and he seems extremely irritated, like he doesn't want to be there, and I think that it's like an afternoon of crafting kind of gone wrong. And I'll even go as far as saying that it reminds me of a gremlin. Oh yeah, I'm totally dating myself here.
And kind of like what I mentioned with the previous bag, I know that fur always adds to the price, but this one comes in at $5,500. And for a craft project, I think that's way too much. And I think that maybe if it was just a bag charm, or maybe if it was something smaller, not so much, I think it might be a little bit better. But just I don't know why they make me laugh too. Every time I see the Fendi monsters on a full-on bag, it makes me chuckle. I do love Gucci, and I love the direction that they've been taking, but
Gucci has been absolutely killing it in the handbag game, but this is the Gucci Ghost large leather tote bag in red and blue. And like I said before, they've really been introducing so many different collections that really cater to a lot of different people, or to just their variety of bags. But then I saw this, and I felt like this was their way of sticking their middle finger at us and saying, I can do no wrong type of thing. Well, I beg to differ, because I think that this is just a plain leather tote, and the fact that it has two different types of font that are trying to make it edgy, I have no idea. I know that there's also a different color, but this definitely does not warrant the price tag that it has. And maybe, like I said before with the other bags, maybe there's something that I'm not seeing, but just a plain leather tote that doesn't really offer anything, doesn't have any, I guess it has somewhat of a structure, but
Come on, $39.50. Like I said in the video, I feel like it's their way of putting their middle finger up and saying, yeah, I can do no wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe not that way I'm saying it so dramatically, but I just felt that for a plain leather tote, just because it's leather and just because it says Gucci, definitely does not warrant the price tag that it has at $39.50. You know what I mean? And I think that at most, because of the leather that Gucci usually has, I know that it is exquisite leather, so I'm not trying to knock them against that, but I think that this tote should be maybe at most $1,500, $1,300, and maybe even that's a little too much, just because of the style of lettering that they chose for the real part, and then of course you have the regular block letters for Gucci. So it just I don't know, I felt that it was just definitely a type of collection that wasn't something that we would normally end up seeing from them. You know what I mean? I promise, I'm almost done with this fashion house. I promise. I have one more after this, but you know, when we talk about roasting these handbags, you just kind of have to add this one in there. You know what I mean?
Does this bag hypnotize you into buying it, into spending an obscene amount of money on it? I know it doesn't have that effect on me. But this is, as I said before, the Fendi.com medium hypnotic satchel bag in the multi. I don't even know what to say. What can you say? I think that the lines, I don't know if they're supposed to hypnotize you into buying it, maybe at a different angle. Let's check it out. Nope. Still feel the same way. I do like the .com. I like the structure that it has, or the silhouette, I should say, but not with all these lines going on. No. It doesn't make me want to buy it at all. And I feel that with that little zipper on the side and that having the multi as well, it's hypnotically a disaster.
This one, I wouldn't necessarily say it's overpriced, just because they do have beautiful leather when it comes to Fendi as well. And it retails for $34.50 here in the States. So it's more so the fact of the lines that they chose and the hypnotizing effect, like, ooh, we're going to get you. You're going to buy this bag type of thing. And I felt that. I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy the bag. I'm going to look somewhere else. So maybe they're hypnotizing me into going a different direction. You know what I mean? I'm hitting all the fashion houses today, and no one is going to escape. And the next one is from Prada, and I'll just let you guys see for yourselves and tell me what you think.
Never. This freaks me out. Eyes in general, when they're just sitting there, especially when they're open like this, and then you have you have an eye in the front, or you have eyes in the front, and then you have them kind of on the side. It's just no way. This is the Prada Python Eyes inside bag in white and black. The price was insane at the beginning. It originally was $5,850, and it's on sale now for $3,510 if you're interested. But I just imagine this bag, someone carrying this bag in the mall in a sea of people, and then you just see those eyes, those like dead eyes. No way. And then the interior, I know that they have, it has some compartments here and there. You have a large compartment where the zipper goes, but I just, no way.
Trying to be edgy? Check. Creepy? Absolutely 1,000 times check. I don't know, right? It's kind of like what I said in the video. It has those dead eyes, like just kind of staring at you. If I do that, doesn't that creep you out? I know it creeps me out, and I'm looking in the viewfinder and it's myself. So just imagine eyes on a bag. No. Last one, I promise. I don't want to sit there and keep poking at it. But this is the last of my choices for Fendi.
I know what you're missing. You're missing all of these layers of leather on a handbag. Oh yeah. This just complements any outfit that you're wearing. I promise this is the last one. I'm not trying to be a bully, but this is the Fendi Baguette multi-wave leather bag. I don't think of waves. I think of flaps. I think just flaps and flaps and flaps up against each other. That doesn't sound attractive at all either. But I like the color. This is in the color Bordeaux. It's a beautiful color, and I do like the shoulder strap. Other than that, it reminds me of a cabbage. It reminds me of, definitely like a cabbage or a piece of fruit that I'm carrying on my body. You know what I mean? And the trimming that they put on there, I think it looks like it's white, like the white varnish. doesn't add to it. If anything, it should have been the same color instead of being such a contrast. But that's the interior, just kind of like the regular baguettes. It does look like it's a little bit larger, but I'm definitely 100% not a fan of this flap bag. I like flap bags and I think of Chanel, but I don't think of multi-waves when I see this beauty. And
the bag retails for $4,300 here in the States. So it's not so much that it's overpriced, because it does have quite a bit of leather going on, and they do have beautiful leather, as I mentioned before. I just feel that those waves, I feel, can you imagine what the bag will look like when it ages? If you end up using it quite a bit, I feel like those flaps are like this, or there's ruffles, and then after a while they're gonna be like prunes or something. It's gonna look like a raisin. That's what it's gonna look like afterwards. So no, not for me, definitely not feeling it. And I'm sorry, Fendi, for being such a bully with you, or at you with this video. So yeah. Now this next bag, I feel that it had to be talked about. You know what I mean? I feel that it's kind of one of those things that happened and everyone's trying to say like, okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. But because we are roasting, once again, it has to come to light. We have to talk about this. And if you feel the way that I do about this particular bag, and don't get me wrong, I love the fashion house. I feel like no fashion house is going to leave my grasp during this video. But if you feel the same way that I do, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be very, very curious to hear your thoughts. So let the bag speak for itself.
No handbag luxury roast can be complete without the Chanel girl bag. When this bag first launched, I remember thinking to myself, there's no way. This is a joke. There is no absolute way that Chanel added this to their fashion house. It's a sweater on a bag. I understand it's supposed to be a messenger type of bag, and they try to incorporate the Chanel suits, but I just felt like this was just a slap in the face for sure. I know that the leather is extremely soft, but I just felt that it was the farthest thing from what I would consider a Chanel bag, and it's definitely not for me.
I was trying to find the price tag for the girl bag. I was having the hardest time, and I saw some that were $4,300. I saw some that were $3,700, and I even saw one on the pre-loved market, and it already doesn't have a good structure to it, because I know that it's the whole messenger crossbody silhouette. But after use, the bag looked like it was almost like a trash bag type of thing. You know what I mean? Like it was just kind of just sitting there. And while I do appreciate a slouchy bag to a certain extent, it was sad, you know what I mean? It was so like, oh no, I've turned into nothing, I've melted type of thing. I don't know, but $4,300, if that is the price tag, like I said, I was having a hard time finding it. $4,300 I think is a ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous amount of price for that handbag, but to each their own. Now this next bag, my number one choice, I feel that I'm probably going to get the most hate, but ever since I saw the bag, even a few years back, I just remember thinking, just nodding my head and saying, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. There's no way. There's no way. And the fact that 20 of them, I believe, were available worldwide. I know that there were 4 here in the US, and they were all sold out. So it is technically a piece of art, but it is also a handbag. So I give you my number one choice.
This one takes the cake, my friends. My number one choice for the most unattractive, the ugliest, the handbag roast of all roasts, the Louis Vuitton Tribute Patchwork Bag. And I'm a big fan of Louis Vuitton. A lot of you know that. I always have been, and I believe I always will be. But even I have to point out when they have created something that is so foul looking that it just kind of makes you scratch your head and say, really? That's what you're going to introduce? But it's not so much the fact that they added all of these collections into one bag. I feel that the collections on their own are great, but when you put beautiful collections together on top of each other, I don't think it makes for an even better looking bag. I know it's technically a piece of art, but it's still a handbag. People still used it as such. But the main reason why it is my number one choice is because of the price that was attached to this. There were 20 available, I believe, and they retailed for $42,000. That is highway robbery for an ugly bag. Am I wrong? Am I seeing something that's not there, like I mentioned in the other bags? Maybe it'll look different when you see it on a person. Nope. Still hideous. It's a big bag too, but definitely not for me. No way, especially with that price tag. I just felt that it was like they're trying way too hard to create something that was just a fail, in my opinion.
Like I said before, I know that a lot of people are probably going to give me the most hate for this bag, and that's okay. I feel that a lot of Louis Vuitton lovers are going to say, screw you, Minnie, what do you know? And that's fine, you know, to each their own. But I just felt that $42,000 for a piece of art. I mean, if you wanted to see it on canvas and up against canvas and on your wall and you're a Louis Vuitton collector, then that's a different route. But when you turn it into a handbag that you know that you're going to be carrying, I just feel that I feel like all the collections just kind of threw up all over each other, and then they created this one, you know what I mean? So that's fine if you don't agree with me, to each their own, like I said, but it pained my heart to see this bag and to have my number one choice be from one of my all-time favorite fashion houses, which is Louis Vuitton. Alright you guys, so that does it for my tag video. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember, it's all in good fun. I keep saying it over and over again because I'm really not one to, I don't want to offend anybody when it comes to their handbag choices, but I would love to tag a few people. I would absolutely love to tag Mel Soldera. I love Mel, and I think she has such an amazing fashion sense, and I would love to hear what choices she has. I'd also like to tag my very good friend Andri. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and I am also tagging Jerusha. I know that Sophie also tagged her, but I'm looking forward to hearing all of your guys' response. And if any of you want to do this tag, feel free to do it. It's so much fun. And if you have any choices, or if you have anything that you want to add to the video as far as the ones that are your 10 picks, let us know in the comment section down below. I think that this is so much fun, and I really do hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you are notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And again, Sophie, thank you so much for tagging me. I had more fun than you can imagine when it comes to doing this tag. So thank you again, and I will see you all next week. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.